Welcome back to the Rowan's podcast. Okay, this might be better now that I actually pulled the microphone down. Welcome back to the Rowan's podcast. I am the Rowan. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or something cold to drink. Pull up a chair in the shade since it's so hot outside. And let's have a chat. First off, I want to apologize. It's been a while since I've posted anything or uploaded any episodes, and I appreciate you all coming back for a chat. I'm going to try to be more regular on this, and I think I've said this before and I haven't done it. Sorry about that. A lot of things going on, different things, schedules getting turned around at work, and just stuff is happening. And so I finally have gotten back. I've got a few minutes. Oh, yeah, and also that and the internet wars with the kid. I wanted to work on one yesterday, but someone needed the internet all day, so I couldn't do it. So I'm trying to get this in and trying to get it done before he comes home, which will be in about like a little while here. So let's see what happens. If I can get it done and edited and uploaded before he gets home, cool. If not, this might be a few days before I actually get it out. But anyways, enough with that. Today I wanted to talk to you about, well, the last episode that I put up, I was asking why is this happening, because I was having a very hard time sharing the songs that I made to you all on Spotify, because every time I'd put it up, Spotify would kick it out. I don't know why. I'm apparently violating something somewhere along the lines, or something is not, what they do. I mean, I could listen to it like one or two times just to make sure it was running, but then it would disappear. And I did that several times, and rather than getting Spotify really mad at me, I quit and everything. I put it all up on YouTube. But I do know the last time that I tried to upload just one of the songs that I made off of the Suno app, I was able to do it so long as I attached it to an episode. I couldn't just do it by itself. So hopefully, and I'm going to try to attach it to the beginning of this episode. So hopefully you have listened to it. Hopefully that was like the first thing that come up after the intro. I'm hoping I'm going to try to attach it. We'll see. If not, if it doesn't work, then you'll just be listening to me talking about the song. And hopefully you'll skip on over to YouTube and check it out over there on the Rose Podcast YouTube page over there. That'd be great. And no, I'm not just doing that, just plug that YouTube page. It honestly is the only place you can get it. Exclusively over there. Unless it works. Oh, huh. I just got a notification on my phone that my Spotify transaction for the month got declined. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's funny. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the songs that I did do, and I wanted to do a little bit of explanation about them because I'm hoping that it would help other people. That's why I wanted to share it, was to help people. Well, that, and I thought it was kind of a good song, and I don't know why Miss Mabel is barking. But and I lost track because the mighty Mabel started barking. Wow. Okay. Anyways. So, yeah. I wanted to share. So, I am just going to talk about one of the songs right now, and then I'm going to make another episode. Maybe if my kid doesn't want to be on the internet today, maybe I can do a second one today. We'll see. I don't know. And no guarantee that this is even going to go out today. Today's the 10th. So, if it comes out today and you're listening to it on the 10th, cool. If not, sorry, I had to take a few days. I can almost say that I know for sure, since it's Friday, he'll be home all weekend, the kid will, and it'll be internet wars all weekend. So I probably won't get a chance to do it this weekend. So, but we'll see. Anyways, so the song I wanted to talk about today, now these are songs I wrote all the words, all the lyrics and everything, and I went to the Suno app because we all know I can't sing very well and I cannot write music, although I would love to be able to do that. So I went there for the voice and the music. And let me tell you, this Suno app is amazing. And no, I'm not plugging it. No, I'm not getting paid or anything like that. I just want to say it's amazing. It actually has helped me. Like, I think in pictures, and it helps me to, like, I can describe, what I'm thinking or whatever, and I can put it in for, like, on the song, as lyrics and stuff like that. And it actually comes out pretty good for, like, a song and stuff. And the music, I mean, you just put in, like, the type of style you might want of music, the male or female voice, maybe even kind of what instruments you want in there. And yeah, it comes out pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, check it out if you guys ever get the chance. It's pretty cool. But okay, so I am going to talk about Glass Shards. And this song come about because I was talking to my therapist about how basically how my emotional pain feels to me and how it looks in my mind, how it feels in my mind. Like, for me, emotional pain is not just kept to the emotions. It's like a physical pain. It, it cuts very deep, and it's a physical. I have spoken about this before in the previous episode about rejection sensitivity dysphoria. And I think it was in another episode too about how negativity and rejection and anger and stuff makes me feel. And these, my therapist said he liked the way I was describing it, and he said I should write it down. So I wrote it down, and then I went to Suno, and I was like, well, actually, what I did, okay, so I went to the Suno app, and I plugged in all the lyrics, the thoughts and the feelings and everything. Like I said, I think in pictures, and when I write that, well, I write descriptively. I write, sometimes I can write very disjointedly, kind of. I don't know how to, like, short little snippets of, like, not full sentence, like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but it's very descriptive of what I write. It's hard for me to explain. And so I just plunked it all in the way that I thought, the way my brain, like, when I write what's in my brain. A lot of times it's unfiltered and I just write it in there, even if it's disjointed, even if it's like a snippet of a sentence, if it's like whatever, and I'll write it in there. And it's just the way this is just the way it comes. I'm not explaining it very well, and I'm stumbling, and I'm whatever. And where did the recorder go? Okay. My sound recorder disappeared on me. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Whew, I was afraid it went bye-bye on me. Okay. So we're going into the words. We're going to deep dive into the words. There's two parts to this song, and the first thing here is like, okay, well, let me explain. Sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, there's two parts of the song. The first part is the emotional pain. The second part is how I made it through with my faith. However, it gets confusing because both parts you use the pronoun you instead of It should have been his in the first part, his um shining with his presence instead of shining with your presence, because they both use you or your, and you can get confused because you'd be like, okay, this person is being really mean to you, but then okay, now they're being really nice. It's not a song about the circle of violence. It is a song about emotional pain and finally healing through your faith. And okay.
Hummingbird beat us stuff out.
Sorry about that. I get a reminder on my Alexa. So yeah, and if I could change that word, I would. It's just I'm afraid to do it because I'm afraid if I change it, then it'll mess up the whole song. It'll be totally different. And I've heard you can, but it's kind of a process, and I don't want to take a chance. So I like the song the way it is. I'll just deal with it. So as long as I can tell you, it's two different parts, so you'll understand. Okay, so first off, it says, "My world was a clear bubble made of glass, shining with your presence, His presence, filling my life with light, happiness, hope." And that's exactly how I explained it, kind of to my therapist. It was like, I live in this. It's like my world is this glass bubble. Like that's where I live in, this glass bubble. But then your anger brought the storms. The storms raged. My world shattered. So yes, these angry words to me, they feel like thunderstorms. Negativity, rejection, anger, argument, yelling, fight. To me, they're thunderstorms. And a lot of times, how I used to get through stuff like that was I would think of it, okay, it's just a storm. The storms come, they fade away, and they go. Okay, they come and they get over with and they leave. And that's how I dealt with a lot of emotional abuse and things like that throughout my life in different situations. Well, at least over the past, for a long time, anyways. And since your anger brought the storms raged, my world shattered. Last shard rained down on me, covering my body, blanketing the ground. And I did tell my therapist that, yeah, that's what it felt like anytime I got rejection or anger or meanness or whatever. It's like, boom, like it just shattered. Everything broke apart. And I was particularly talking about certain situations, which I won't go into, but certain situations, and that it would feel like that. And just picture it. Like you're in this glass bubble, you're all happy, everything's fine, everything's bright and shiny, everything's cool. But then these storms come up, and they rage, and they just, your world just shatters. The glass bubble just shatters, and there's darkness now, and you've got these shards just stabbing you all over, and they just covered your body, and they blanketed the ground. And it says, every move leaves cuts, every step shreds my feet. No escaping the pain, glass shards cover me. Glass shards. And that's exactly what I told him how I felt. Like the glass shards for my world, because my world had shattered. Every little piece of it is just poking into me, and everything's covered, and I can't move, I can't breathe, I can't walk, I can't, it's all just, it's no matter what I do, it's pain, it's pain, it's pain. Every angry word, another shard. And yeah, that is exactly how I feel. When I'm in that state, every angry word after that, it just is more shards poking in or falling on me or on the ground, just poking my feet. It's there. And then the second part of the song comes in, where is the light? And that's me crying out, like, where is the light? I need help. Where is the light? It's so dark. It's so dark and it's painful. And I need help. Where is the light? And a shaft of light breaks through the cold, cold darkness. And for me, during those times, especially during a very dark time in my life, I was crying out for that light, crying out for that light, for help for that light. And like every night on my knees, crying, looking for light and looking for it. And for many, many years, it was like that too. And the shaft of light, a shaft of light breaks through the cold, cold darkness. Well, yeah, that was my faith. My faith broke through. And a beacon to follow. I'm not alone. You walk beside me. Well, that's me realizing that the light was God, was Jesus, and it was a beacon. It was my faith, my beacon to follow, to get me out of that darkness, to get me out of that pain, to get me, for healing and stuff. And I'm not alone. You walk beside me. Well, that's like Jesus being the shepherd. I stumble and fall. You pick me up, carrying me into the light. Back where I belong. Never again will I stray into darkness. That's the good shepherd. That's the great shepherd, Jesus, who you stumble and fall, or you're lost alone in the darkness, and he leaves the 99 and goes finds you, finds the lost sheep, picks the sheep up, carries the sheep back to the flock, carries the sheep back to the light. Back where I belong. Never again will I stray into darkness. Because I was brought back into the light. I found the light. I found where I belonged, and I won't stray from the shepherd's side again. I won't. And you hold me tightly in your hand. No, wait. Sorry. The light will hold me. You are the light. You hold me tightly in your hand. I am free. That is in reference to where Jesus has said, he was talking about his sheep and how the sheep know him and how he takes care of the sheep and how everyone that is given to him, everything that is placed in his hand, nothing can be snatched out of his hand. He holds tightly onto his sheep. Nothing can snatch them out of his hand. Nothing can snatch them out of God's hand. He says, neither him nor God, nothing can snatch anything out of their hands. And it's Jesus holding me tightly in his hand. And I am free. And I'm free from that pain. I'm free from that loneliness. I'm free from that sadness. Now, I'm not saying that I've never felt emotional pain again after that, but I am free from being in that dark, dark place, is all I'll say about that. And I wanted to share that with everybody because I think there's a lot of people that are in pain right now. I mean, it's always been that way in our world, people in pain and stuff. But I think now even more so, it just seems like there's many, many more people in pain, whether it be the pain of emotional abuse or physical abuse or sexual abuse, or just pain of not knowing from day to day whether they can feed their children or pay their bills or even survive sometimes, or just the pain of fear. Just plain fear, or the pain of loneliness, pain of family troubles, pain of marital troubles, pain of this world is full of so much pain right now. And there's a lot of people living with glass shards all over them. And I want them to know that there is a light, even if all you see is a tiny little shaft of light. Hold on to that light, follow that light, because you will walk out of the storm. You will walk out of the darkness, and you will find God waiting for you, or God there, God helping you, walking with you anyways, with you and carrying you and giving you strength. And he will never leave your side, and he'll never let you go. And you're not alone. I'm not going to say that you'll never feel sadness again and you'll never struggle, but because Jesus did make it very clear that there will be struggling, there will be, strife. even, following him. But he doesn't leave your side. And that is a comfort and that is a joy to know that even though you're going through all this, you're not alone. I have found great comfort in the fact that he is here, that I am not alone. And I do go through my times of struggling. I do go through sadness and despair, pain. But I find comfort in just reaching for that shaft of light and looking for that shaft of light and remembering that Jesus is here, remembering that God is here, remembering that I'm not alone. Because it is hard to follow God. It is hard to follow Jesus. It is, because you are separate from the world, and the world rebukes you or whatever, and your family and your friends, look at you a certain way. I find a great comfort in knowing that Jesus is with me, even though I may suffer, even though I may struggle. I know I'm not alone. It hurt way more feeling alone than it does. It's a different kind of hurt when you know that someone is there for you, when you know that you're okay, when you know that ultimately, when the storm is over, and you know the storm's going to be over, ultimately you will be okay. You are strengthened. You are bolstered up. You know that Jesus has you in his hand. You are the little lost sheep that he's carrying on his shoulders. The great shepherd is carrying you, so you'll be okay. And I guess my message is that I want you to know that if you're going through a storm and your world is shattering, you're still being held and there's still light. You do matter. You do matter. And I know I say that a lot, and I know I always say, well, I'm not just saying it, but those two words, you matter, are extremely important to me. For myself personally, because I went through a period in my life where I didn't think I mattered to anybody. I thought my husband hated me. And I gave up on myself. I gave up on my family. I gave up on any hope of anything in my life. And it didn't matter what happened to me at that point. And I was in a very dark place because everything was empty to me. But I saw that beacon of light. I followed it. And I found out I do matter. And my worth does not come from my husband. My worth does not come from my family. My worth does not come from the people around me. My worth, and whether I matter or not, comes from God, comes from Jesus. So I know I matter. So it doesn't matter to me if, it does. I will be sad if my husband gets upset at me, yes. But it doesn't matter to me if I don't matter to certain people or certain things, because that's not what's important. I found my self-worth in my faith. I found that I matter. And I realized there's a lot of people who probably are feeling the same way and that they matter. I want everybody to know that they matter. You are not alone. You matter. And I always remember that. Even if you don't believe and you're not religious and you don't go to church and you don't believe and you really don't think that this is the thing for you, well, let me tell you something. Even if you don't, God believes in you, and God, you still matter. You still matter. You will never ever not matter. And I guarantee you, you matter to somebody in your life. In somebody in your life. You may not even know this person, but you may matter to them. You matter to somebody in your family. You matter to somebody you met on the street. If you even said hi to somebody or smiled at somebody that day, or maybe complimented somebody you just seen off the street because you liked maybe what they were wearing. You matter to that person that day because you don't know. Maybe that person was having a bad day. Maybe that person was in a big, deep depression. Maybe that person felt that they didn't matter at all. Yeah. And hey, someone smiled at them, someone complimented them, someone did something nice to them that day to make them feel like they mattered. And that might have changed their life. Like I'm I didn't realize, I worked at the same store for 4 years. And yes, you have the regulars that come in, and yes, you get to know the regulars, and they become like your acquaintances and stuff, and you kind of know things. And I didn't realize how much I mattered being there to certain people, to some people. I know for me, if I go to the same store over and over and over again, and the same cashiers and stuff are there, I really enjoy that because then you kind of get to know them, and so that matters. And if they're not there, it's kind of get bummed. So I guess it's the same way. But when I went to go see the fireworks, there was a lady in the parking lot who kind of was walking past me, and she said hi, and she said to my husband, "Well, she's my favorite cashier." That made me feel good. Um, that made me feel good because that made me feel like I mattered. Even to this one person, she comes in maybe once a week or something. Um, my whole point in saying this is that you matter. Even if it's somebody like I don't know this woman's name. I don't know who she is. She was in the dark, so I really couldn't see her real well. So I don't know. But I matter to her because she likes me at the store. That was just an example of how you can matter to somebody and not even know it. And I try sometimes, I try to be helpful and cheerful at work as best as I can to people because I know that means a lot to people. Although sometimes I fail because the autism kicks in and, I have the days where I just want to not, I just don't want to talk. I just want to be silent and just do my job. So, but I think pretty much everybody's kind of getting the idea with me. Anyways, so enough of that. But I just want to just pass that on to you and everyone. And I'm hoping that this has made it on to the upload. We shall see. Who knows? Maybe it'll upload the whole episode and just not the music. Hopefully it doesn't kick the whole episode out. Otherwise, I've wasted a lot of time. But next episode, I would like to do Chasing Butterflies. Well, the full title is Chasing Butterflies and Thunderstorms. So I would like to do that one. However, I'm not sure if I will the next one because I really do want to do a doom scrolling one. So, oh, hey, if you want me to do a doom scrolling one, put in the comments, please, what you would like me to doom scroll. Like just random things or doom scroll like neurodivergent content or something. So yeah. So, but anyways, thank you so much. And I'm sorry Miss Mabel is barking. She's been really agitated lately. Like every little tiny thing she barks at nowadays, and I don't know why. It's like she's constantly on guard. I don't know if it's a thing that they do at this age because she's getting older. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, so thank you for stopping by for chat and more later. Bye. No, wait, we're gonna do that one better. I didn't like that ending. And I'm not gonna edit this out, so you're gonna have to deal with the fact that I had to redo my ending. More later. Bye.